Hello, manifestors. Do you feel that you can't manifest your desire for some reason? If you do, well, this video is for you because I'm going to tell you what you need to do so you will be able to manifest your desire fast. It's actually the only way we can manifest any desire the fastest way possible, since you like to talk about 3D and linear time. Now, it's not gonna be one of those do this technique or other technique type video. Even this title, I hate it, to tell you the truth. I don't like titles like that. They are like clickbait titles. The only reason I did it is because of you guys. Because you are, or many of you are, clickbait type title people. Many of you are like that. Not all my audience is like that, thank goodness, but many of you are. And this is one of the main reasons why you struggle manifesting your desires, because you click on empty content type videos that do not teach you the law. That's why you struggle. So, now, since what needed to be said has been said, without further ado, please subscribe, like, comment to help my channel, and let's get into the video. So needless to say that most people, not just many, but most people who land into the law of assumption community are people who used to be in the law of attraction, for one thing, and also people who are desperate to manifest a big desire that they really need now. And those two desires are mostly, number one, relationship, number two, money. In both cases, when people do some searching on Google to find answers to fix those two big problems, usually they are in a desperate state. They need that money, they need that SP, they need that relationship. And unfortunately, even when they land in this community, so they may find me or any other manifesting coach talking about the law, talking about Neville Goddard's teaching, they do not lose that desperation though, at least not right away. And some of you guys, it may take a little bit of time until you lose that desperation. Some of you tend to keep it for a long time. All I need to do is just look at the thread of comments under some videos out there and see the desperation of people. And that really makes me sad, because I'm like, wow, they landed on this community. They have all the tools available to them to really understand this law, the number one tool being the teaching of Neville Goddard, and yet they don't get it. They are still so desperate that they don't get it. So the goal with my channel is to help you guys to get it finally, to stop being desperate and understand who you truly are. And understanding who you truly are starts with understanding that everything you were told and taught since day one, since you were a little child, since you were a baby, until now, until the time you finally found the teaching of the law, was a lie. That's it, right? Because this society, being the asleep society that it is, has no clue. It's not taught in school. It's not taught anywhere. They have no clue about the law, because we were born to learn who we truly are, but never was it said anywhere that the world was going to teach us who we are, right? That's why the Bible refers to people of the world versus the ones who are awake, right? I think that any holy scripture talk about the world being asleep, not being aware and awake, for sure, right? So this is a sure thing. You'll never learn what you need to learn from the world. You'll learn it from the few people who became aware and awake somehow, and from digging into your own self. But you are not going to find answers. You are not going to learn this law. You're not going to learn who you truly are, the God that you truly are, from the world. So this is why none of us learn that from our parents or in school or from our governments or none of that. That's never going to happen, not anytime soon anyhow. So once we understand that we were born in the illusion and we were taught to believe in the illusion, but we know now it's an illusion, this is a good start. But if as a conscious manifestor or as someone who is becoming a conscious manifestor, you still believe in that illusion as the real thing, then that's when problem starts. That's when instead of changing rapidly and manifesting your earthly desires rapidly, it's not working for you. Because you are still doing things from the perspective that the illusion is the real thing. And please understand that the reason why I can talk about this is because I've been there. So I completely understand. Have been there for a long time, even after I discovered Neville. So don't be fooled by the fact that I'm teaching what I'm teaching and like it happened to me overnight. No, I've been there too. I've been where you are at some point myself, even though I had started to discover this law of assumption. So once you understand how this law works and who you truly are and where things are happening, you understand that every time you are going to look at 3D for answers, look at 3D for actions, look at 3D for movements, you are looking at the wrong place. You really are. But truth be told, the majority of people in this community are looking for answers not at the right place, because they're looking for answers in the 3D, in the shadow world. But if you are, I've got some news for you. There is no power in the 3D. There is no power in actions in the 3D. Actions are never the cause. If you think that actions in the 3D mean anything, it's because you are under this illusion still. Because the cause is within. The action is within. And within, it's your imagination. Your wonderful human imagination, which is God, quoting Neville. This is why I made my 2 last videos about imagination, because there are still so many people that do not understand what their imagination even is, to the point that they think that they are imagining only when they close their eyes and do some type of visual scene. This is not what imagination is. You are imagining that you are a certain person right now. You are assuming many things about yourself, about others, and about the world in general right now already. The question you need to ask yourself is, or the questions you need to ask yourselves are, who do I believe that I am? What am I imagining day in and day out that I am? And what are my assumptions that are playing out right now in my physical world, day in and day out? So, for example, if you are telling me for some reason I cannot believe that my SP is mine, for some reason I cannot believe that I can get money easily. If you have those deep assumptions, they are yours, by the way, right? Nobody else put that in your mind. And I'm talking even if you grew up believing those things. You now still are accepting other people's limiting beliefs to still play out in your world. In your inner world, therefore it's playing out in your outer world, which is a reflection of your inner world. Nobody else is assuming that for you. It is yourself. It is your own I am right now that is believing that you can't manifest your SP or that you can't have that amount of money. It is your I am. You are using your inner man right now. You are using that force, that divine force within to work against yourself. You are imagining that you can't. So if you ask yourself the question, who is imagining that I can't have the SP? Who is imagining that I can't have the money? Well, the answer is I am. And anything after I am, you know it already, I hope you do, or you're going to learn it now. Everything you say after I am, not just with words, but in your thoughts, in your beliefs, in your assumption, anything that you say after I am is what you manifest. So, no matter what your background, no matter what your beliefs, no matter how much brainwashed you have been in this society, in this world, in this 3D so-called reality, if now, as a conscious manifester, even a new conscious manifester, you are choosing to say, I am what you don't want to be. And like I said, not just with words, but with your whole being, with your thoughts, beliefs, assumptions, what is called your imagination. If you are saying, I am not what I want to be, or who I want to be, you are not going to be. So you need to start with this understanding. As long we don't care about what excuse you have or even your circumstances, whatever it is. The law doesn't care about that. The law doesn't say, well, you know, when it comes easier to say, I am what I want to be, when your circumstances get better, that's okay, we'll do it then. No. Oh, no. You need to say now that you are the person that you want to be now, regardless of all the things I've just mentioned. And you know why? Because I am is now, is only now. Your I am doesn't have any past or future. Your I am is now. And what you believe that you are now is what is going to reflect in the world of mirrors, in the world of shadows. So regardless of all the excuses that you have, of all your circumstances and 3D conditions, if you keep on saying, I am, and then you are saying what you do not want to be, and like I said, not just with words, but with your whole being, with your whole imagination, with your whole I amness, if you are saying, I am not, well, you are not then. And that's how you create vicious cycles of you believing that you can't change, that you can't seem to be able to change your self-concept. It's because you keep on using your I am for what you do not want. Well, in that case, you are not that which you want to be, right? If you are saying, I am not what I want to be, therefore you're not. And you are not in the now. But that now, because that's the only thing that exists, is going to manifest as a reflection tomorrow in your 3D world. And forever, until you change who you are. Until you change the I am. And this is how you create you running after a desire, chasing after a desire that you can't seem to catch. Because you are saying that you are day in and day out the person that you don't want to be. Because you find it difficult, because you find it delusional, all your excuses to say that you are now who you want to be. But you can, because this is what it means to be God of your reality. You can, in imagination, now be who you want to be and have what you want to have and fulfill yourself with the feeling of having. And unless you do that, then indeed, it's going to be a struggle to manifest it in the world of shadows, which is just a reflection. And this brings me to tell you about something we discussed in my coaching group this past Wednesday. When you imagine, by the way, you do not imagine in order to get your stuff out there in the 3D. There's nothing to get out there. You imagine to be. Every time you imagine, you need to train yourself to imagine to be that person that you want to be now, not later, not to get it out there in the so-called real world, the 3D, no, but to be. You are imagining to be now. Because there's only now, and there's only I am. To be now who you want to be. And you need to shut off completely the 3D world. You need to shut the door to it, as Neville said, to leave it alone. Because if your 3D conditions come in your imaginal act, get in the way of you being who you want to be in your imagination now, then that alone is going to delay your desire. Never imagine to get something in the 3D, and never let your 3D conditions get in the way of your imaginal act. When you imagine, you already are who you want to be. And if you haven't noticed yet, maybe go back in your history. Go back, reverse engineer your life, as I always tell you guys to do. I know I have. So if I have, you probably will be able to do that as well. I have realized that when I manifested, especially my big desires, they did not manifest in the 3D. That's not when they manifested. They manifested when I created it inside me. When I created the assumption that I was who I wanted to be, that I had whatever it is that I wanted to have. It happened in that moment. And because it happened in that moment, then it reflected in the world of shadows, in the 3D world, sometime later. But pretty rapidly as far as linear time is concerned, because it was already real, it was already true, it was already now in my imagination. It had already happened in my imagination, in other words. When Neville talked about the feeling of relief or the feeling of euphoria, did you think he referred to that feeling once you've got the thing reflected in the 3D? No, not at all. He talked about that feeling where? In imagination. That's when the feeling happens. So it means that in order to feel that feeling of euphoria or relief or it is done, doesn't happen in the 3D. It happens in imagination. Unless you truly understand that, manifesting your desire is always going to be a maybe, maybe not type thing. But if you truly understand that your imagination is where creation happens, is where everything happens, and that when you imagine, it's not for future results, but it's now. You imagine now that you are the person who you want to be, who has whatever it is that you want to have. You are this person now. In imagination, you fulfill yourself now in imagination. Once you do that, guys, it's going to speed up your manifestations like crazy. And this is the way. This is the only way you are going to manifest your desires in this world of shadows very quickly, very fast. So there you are, guys. This is what you need to understand and practice if you want to manifest your desire fast It's not about all those techniques that you hear about, for sure. And trust me on that one. Everything I teach is what I practice myself. Thank you for watching. Please, again, like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you next time.